Today, we are diving into a topic that is just so incredibly important if you're navigating a divorce in Grand Rapids: how to choose the right real estate appraiser. You know, the single biggest mistake people make, they treat this just like any other home valuation. We're going to break down why that's a potential financial landmine and how to pick an appraiser who will actually help protect your future. So you might be thinking, an appraiser is an appraiser, right? What's the big deal? And look, in a normal real estate deal, you might get away with that. But in a divorce, that kind of thinking can be really, really costly. The real question we need to answer is this: why is your choice of appraiser so critical when a court is involved? And here's the answer, plain and simple. It's because a fair, equitable outcome for everybody involved hinges entirely on a property valuation that is absolutely rock solid and can withstand serious legal scrutiny. This isn't just about figuring out a price tag. This is a critical legal and financial decision. Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts. The very first place you have to start is building a foundation of trust. And you know where that begins? With checking their credentials. This part is completely non-negotiable. And this is where we get specific for Michigan. You're not just looking for someone who calls themselves an appraiser. Nope, you have to verify that they have a current state certification. Specifically, you want to see either a certified residential appraiser, that's a CR license, or a certified general appraiser, a CGA license. Think of these as your guarantee that the appraiser meets some pretty tough state and federal standards. You're probably going to hear this acronym thrown around a lot: USPAP. It stands for the Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice. Sounds kind of formal, right? Just think of it as the official rulebook. It's the ethical and performance Bible for every appraiser in the country. If your appraiser doesn't live and breathe USPA, that is a huge red flag. All right, next up, we have to talk about experience under pressure. Because when it comes to a divorce appraisal, it is absolutely vital to understand that not all appraisals are created equal, not by a long shot. This slide really just lays it all out. On the left, you've got your standard appraisal. It's for buying or selling a house, focused on a simple transaction. But the one on the right, the divorce appraisal, well, that is a completely different animal. It has to be objective, legally defensible, and tough enough to withstand a grueling cross-examination in a courtroom. So here's the million-dollar question. You need to ask this directly. Don't be shy. You look them in the eye and ask, have you served as an expert witness in family court? Trust me, their answer is going to tell you everything you need to know about their experience in this kind of high-stakes environment. And why is that question so important? Because if your case ends up in litigation, your appraiser could be called to the stand. Their ability to confidently and clearly defend every single number in their valuation under oath, well, that is what's going to protect your financial interests. It is an absolutely essential skill. All right, let's shift gears to something that might seem kind of obvious, but is so incredibly important: the local advantage. Real estate is all about location, 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 right? Well, when it comes to a court-acceptable appraisal in Grand Rapids, that local knowledge is everything. So what does that local knowledge actually get you? Well, for starters, it means a deeper familiarity with the unique markets we have right here in Kent County. And that leads to more accurate reports, more realistic choices for comparable home sales, and at the end of the day, a valuation that is way more likely to hold up under the microscope. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, so let's pull all of this together into a final checklist, a simple guide you can use to feel really confident in the choice you make. Here it is. 4 simple but really powerful steps. Number 1, verify their license and certification. That's your baseline. 2, confirm they have specific divorce and court experience. 3, make sure they have deep local Grand Rapids market knowledge. And 4, assess their professionalism and just, do you trust them? Follow these steps and you are going to be on the right track. So, to wrap up, the source material that we used for this explainer does mention one specific firm that it uses as an example of these qualities. We're just presenting this information exactly as it appears in the source. The example they gave is a firm called Home Appraisal Grand Rapids. The source points out that their specialty in certified appraisals for divorce and estate cases lines up perfectly with all the key criteria that we've been talking about. So, as we finish up, I'm going to leave you with one final thought. Really, it all boils down to this one question: is your appraiser prepared to be more than just an appraiser? Are they truly prepared to be your expert witness? Because honestly, your financial future could depend on that answer.